couple of weeks ago, Shaq and Charles were going at it over LeBron James and his comments about what the Cavs had on the roster. What in the world was that like for you to be sitting in between those two heavyweights?
Well, I'm used to that, and I'm also used to a lot of bluster coming from both of them about there's going to be some furniture moved and you bring it on and all that. So I know that's all just TV stuff. Mm-hmm. But they both felt very strongly about that, and I think it all came down to the word compete. I think when Charles said, does he not want to compete in talking about LeBron, and Shaq said, hey, you can't say that about a player. That speaks to his character if he doesn't want to compete. So that was kind of at the crux of all that, and I don't think they've ever resolved it. And I think LeBron and Charles have kind of, buried that. But yeah, that night it got a little festive.
Hey, that's a great word for it. They have buried it. Did they see each other at the All-Star game?
No, I don't know if any of that happened. I just know that on the air when we kind of when we kind of went over it, it was like it's over as far as Chuck was concerned, and to me, and I look at any of these situations, I always think that it is a good thing to reach a common ground with the other person and not just leave it there. I think it's just kind of left there in this case. So I mean, and I even I kind of encouraged Chuck. I was like, just you guys talk, and just kind of smooth it over. And there wasn't any perceived need, I don't think, on Charles' part to do that. I think he said he had his say. That's his opinion, and if LeBron disagrees, that's fine. And so that's I guess that was how it was left.
Oh, in terms of smoothing it over, you're not talking about between Shaq and Charles, is what you're saying?
Oh no, not between Shaq.
No.
Shaq and Charles, they're fine. Oh no, they're good. I mean. That kind of stuff happens on our show all the time. Happens on your show too.
No, I know.
On the NFL show that guys disagree, but it's all in just, hey, that's my opinion. So there's nothing lingering there. There's no beef between Shaq and Chuck at all.
No, I just know sometimes when Marshall and Michael go at it, or Dion and Michael go at it, sometimes it will spill into the commercial break. And sometimes even into the segment after the next commercial break.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, and that happens all the time on our show. And that's why we sometimes need the cuss button on our side. We need to borrow it from KG.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.